What is up, everybody? It's your boy King Boys Productions, and I'm back at it with another reaction video. So today I am here reacting to First Take, which was live today. Yeah, today. I'm sorry, my dates are mixed up. So it was live today, and it's called ESPN First Take NBA RIPS Phil Jackson for Inappropriate Carmelo Talk. So if you don't know what's going on here, basically, I can't even think of his name. Phil Jackson was basically saying how Carmelo, basically talking crap about Carmelo, who is the Knicks' best player. I mean, let's not get anything mixed up here. He's the best player on the team, but he's basically ripping them, and he's basically ripping him, basically saying that he has no future in New York. He thinks that he's a drag to the team and everything. But let's just get in with First Take, and I'll hear exactly what he's talking about here.
We'll win with him on the court at this time, and I think the direction with our team is that he is a player that would be better off somewhere else and using his talent somewhere where he can win or chase that championship.
That was Phil Jackson on Friday. Melo with a subliminal clapback posting this shot from the Great Gatsby with the caption, "Really? #StayMelo." on Twitter. Now, apparently, Kristaps Porzingis is over the Knickerbockers drama, too. According to Ian Begley, he skipped his exit interview with Phil Jackson and members of the Knicks front office and is headed back to Latvia until training camp.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Stephen A., your reaction to the latest.
I'll get into my disgust with Phil Jackson in just a second. I want to applaud Kristaps Porzingis for making the move that he made, departing for Latvia and reportedly not intending to show back up until near training camp. He's disgusted with the Knicks organization. They're an absolute embarrassment, and I completely support him in that regard. I do not support Carmelo Anthony staying mellow, because if there's one problem I have with Melo, it's that he's been too damn mellow. There comes a point in time where you got to man up and speak up for yourself. I know that the man has been interviewed on numerous occasions. I know that the man has answered questions every day practically for the last 6 months. But the venom and the hostility that Phil Jackson has put on public display towards this man for months,
which is messed up.
Basically, figuratively speaking, slapped Carmelo Anthony around, while Carmelo Anthony has done little to nothing to defend himself. And that disturbs me, because he is in the right. He deserves better than this. Phil Jackson is wrong, and it's a damn shame that Kristaps Porzingis seems to be more willing to call Phil Jackson out than Carmelo Anthony. Now let me get to Phil Jackson. He is an absolute disgrace. He needs to get the hell out of New York City, big time, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I am an advocate of what I was years ago, right before Phil Jackson was hired. I think people need to protest outside the streets of Madison Square Garden until this man is gone. He does not care. I believe he's trying to get himself fired. I believe the only reason why Phil Jackson is still in New York is because he wants the $24 million left that he's owed. And by quitting, he can't get the money. But if he were to get fired, he'd get to keep the money. Somehow, some way, the billionaire that is James Dolan, who can write this off on his taxes yesterday, needs to find a way to get Phil Jackson the hell out of town. I'm so damn disgusted that this damn Phil Jackson is still in New York City. I don't even know what to do with myself, Max Kellerman. I don't even understand how you, the ultimate cool, I'm going to start calling you instead of Max. I'm going to call you the Matrix, because I don't understand how you could be so damn cool, claiming to be a New Yorker, claiming to be a Knicks fan. How you can sit here and be so cool in elocuting and articulating words about Phil Jackson without the resident level of disgust that I am feeling. I don't know what I would do to Phil Jackson if he showed this face. This man is a disgrace, because he's sabotaging the Knicks. He's throwing everything away. You see the coaches he's hired, and nobody says anything. Oh, the players, the contract for Joakim Noah and Derrick Rose trade and Melo. What about the damn coaches, for crying out loud? He still got Kurt Rambis on there, who I like, but is hated by all the coaches, by all the players. They can't stand the man, okay? And still he's there. This is a disgrace, and somebody needs to do something about Phil Jackson right now. Get him the hell out of New York. Go ahead.
Phil Jackson's not even the problem. The problem is James Dolan. And by the way, Phil Jackson's option was exercised. So now the final 2 years kick in. This is the point where Knicks fans feel utter despair. This is the most helpless, most infuriating feeling that a sports fan can feel. And it's not about protesting until Phil Jackson leaves town. It's about protesting until James Dolan sells the team or else puts it in a blind trust or something. I mean, he's got to get away from this team. He's got to stay making decisions.
But
Dolan
how do you
makes
do it?
every bet. This is the problem. Stephen A., when I think about what he just did to Carmelo, now, you and I have different opinions about how great Carmelo is, but he's a great scorer. There's no doubt about that. And he's given his all to the franchise and the team and the city for that matter. And even now, Phil Jackson's phrasing, where he can go chase a championship. What a jerk. Why would you say, you still got to down him, even as you're trying to convince him to waive his no-trade clause. You got to down him in that way, take those little subtle shots. And that's one thing. That sucks for Carmelo. I get it. But that's looking forward. That's not what these Knicks are about. I mean, hopefully they'd be able to get something really good for Carmelo to build around Porzingis. But Phil is undermining Carmelo's trade value. It's idiotic. But then you look at Porzingis. Not only does Porzingis, you're absolutely right, stand up to Phil and Dolan and say, to hell with this, I'm going to skip my exit interview. Not only does he do that, and that's great for Porzingis, Phil Jackson then is unwilling to say that Porzingis is untouchable? Well, no one's untouchable. Don't hide behind that. You have a 7'3". You have a guy almost the size of Yao Ming who can play in a spread offense, who can defend the rim, who can shoot from three, who can take bigs off the dribble.
That's true. He's a very phenomenal
you
player.
Want a modern big to do. You can build around this guy. The whole idea is to find that guy. They found him. They have him. They're not only poisoning him, but they're throwing out there that they would be willing to trade him, essentially. If you read the blogs out of Boston, they're all talking about, well, would you give up the draft pick for Porzingis?
Heck yeah.
Of course you would.
Heck yeah.
Because you don't know about a draft pick, but you know Porzingis is a bad dude and is very likely to get even better. They are not only holding back his progress and his development as a star, this fell out of the heavens into their lap because they picked fourth. They couldn't get the draft pick wrong. It just fell into their lap. And they're still going to screw it up going forward. It is an impossible thing to be a Knicks fan. Something has to be done about it, Stephen A. You're absolutely right. Dolan needs to sell the team. He's needed to sell it, but there needs to be a concerted effort to organize some kind of a protest so that he does.
Well, how you gonna do that when everybody got their cable? Have you tried to get cable in New York City? I mean, you can't go through Cablevision, or is it Optimum or whatever? I mean, who the hell is it in the area? You can't get around it, Max. How you gonna get rid of the owner when the owner's giving you other when he's giving you other things outside of basketball? I mean, maybe if there was some way to get him to divest his interest in the Knicks while keeping everything else, maybe we could work with him. Maybe a negotiation could take place. But my God, nobody could peel ownership away from the man. That's the only reason why I haven't taken him to task. But it's clear, Phil Jackson is not somebody New Yorkers need. He doesn't even want to be here. He wants to be in LA. Let him go.
And by the way, I've read his books, the latest one, the 11 Rings, and he talks about the different phases of team building. Yeah. Phil's got to look in the mirror. What phase are you on, Phil? You're still on phase one after 3 years. You've lost twice as much as you've won. You're going to just throw up your hands and blame it on the players not buying in? Do you ever look in the mirror and wonder why they're not buying in?
I read it too.
Maybe it doesn't
work. It's a lot of child's play, Max, for sure. Stephen A., you all right? Take a deep breath.
I just can't take it.
Just breathe.
I just can't take it. The Knicks had a game a couple of months ago. I didn't even know, and I was 3 blocks away. That's how disinterested in them I am.
In your life. Coming up, we're debuting a new segment. It's called Your Take, where you all get to weigh in on the show. We're going to cover the hottest topics on the internet.
All right, so that's it on that video. My opinions on the matter is the Knicks franchise has steadily been just like an explosion. It's just over this last few years, the Knicks have just been progressively getting worse and worse, and it's interesting to think of how the Knicks are becoming worse and worse because they keep on getting more and more talent. This year they had Carmelo, Porzingis, they had Courtney Lee. Who was their center? Oh, Joakim Noah was their center before he got suspended and then hurt, and then Derrick Rose. I mean, they have all this talent. All of this talent in their starting lineup, and their backups are not terrible. They have a bunch of talent, but they were one of the worst teams in the East. I mean, how does that make sense? How are teams that are just less talented than them outplay them? One example I think of when I say teams that are not as talented as them just outplay them is Miami. I'm a Miami Heat fan, a Miami Heat and a Detroit Pistons fan. Yes, you can be fans of two franchises. Don't let anyone tell you different. But I'm a Miami Heat fan, and they started off their season 11-30, and I thought, this team just stinks. They just stink. At the end of the season, 41-41. So I mean, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you it's not about the talent, it's about the team. And I think that really shows with the Knicks, because I think everyone on the Knicks just plays a little selfish. Carmelo's playing selfish. I'm not saying he's entirely to blame. Carmelo's playing selfish. I think Porzingis is being Porzingis. That dude's good. That dude's probably the only bright spot on that team. Courtney Lee plays selfish. Derrick Rose has been playing selfish. It's everyone on that team is playing selfish basketball, and that's why they were one of the worst teams. I think they were either 13 or 14 out of 15 in the East. Only team worse than them was the Nets, and the Nets are terrible. So the two teams from New York, the worst teams in the East. I mean, how can you let that happen? And how can you let that happen with the amount of talent that you have on a team? I mean, you have an unbelievable amount of talent on his team, and you can't do anything with it. I mean, your starting five is better than a lot of starting fives in the league, but a lot of those teams did a whole lot better than you. I mean, the Knicks starting five is way better than OKC starting five. I'll put everything on that. Their starting five is way better than OKC starting five. But OKC plays as a team. Well, first of all, they got Russell Westbrook. So let me say that a little different. They got Russell Westbrook. So it's not the same. But OKC also plays together. Russell Westbrook is not. I mean, he can be selfish, but the dude's averaging about 10 assists a game. You can't say he's that selfish. Averaging 10 assists a game, I mean, he's making his guys better. And that's what the Knicks don't do. And that's why the Knicks are so terrible, and that's why they were so terrible, and that's why they're going to continue to be terrible. Unless something has changed in the front office and the coaching staff. I think the first thing to be blamed for a terrible season like this is not the players. I don't think it's the players not playing together. I think it's the coaching staff, and I think it's the front office. Because first of all, you got to get players that can actually gel together. But then also you need to get a coaching staff that will make the players gel together. That will make them have like a certain system that makes them gel together. And that's what I think they need to do. And until they do that, they will continue to be garbage like they were this year. But if you did enjoy, please leave a like. Please subscribe for more videos. I like doing sports videos so I can go off on my little rants. Hope you guys enjoy that. Let me know what you think down below on this topic. If you kind of agree with like Stephen, kind of like the same thing that I said in the last one. You agree more with Stephen A. If you agree more with Max, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to see your opinions. I want to see. Don't go after each other, but I just want to see what you think. What's your opinion on this? Do you think it's the players' fault, or you think it's more of the front office's fault? I want to know what you guys think. But until next time, it's your boy, King Boys Productions. Squaw.